All praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakudash, the honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and it's sincere shalom to the arguments out there pushing the sincerity and the truth and the sound doctrine. This is going to be a really quick video on, just a little bit of a reminder, for all of us, myself included, most definitely, is, just staying aware, staying vigilant, staying sober. All right, it's very important, man. Part of the a huge part of being in this thing is being sober. Staying aware, being a watchman, and watchmen have to be sober. This is why we go into, we get mocked for it for whatever reason, but as far as we get mocked for going into breakdowns. Cause y'all talk about, yeah, man, them GMS guys, man, they like going into them breakdowns and this, that, and the other. And it makes you wonder, well, you're saying it like that's a bad thing. Is it a bad thing? Why aren't most of you going over breakdowns? Right? You're doing these live streams, you're doing these lessons for what? You got to go over the breakdowns. You got to teach the people how to read the Bible. That's important. But your other camps are saying it like it's a bad thing. You're going over all these breakdowns. You're playing Bible gymnastics. Yeah, when we go into other Bibles, older Bibles, sometimes even newer Bibles, sometimes, but most definitely the older ones, because the older ones, it's about before the KJV. The older ones, they are the ones that will tell you like it is, man. Right? That Wycliffe and some a little after, some a little older, right? Very, very important. Like that Mark of the Beast thing, that MOTB. Yeah, that's important. That's why we go into these breakdowns to warn you, to edify you. No matter how much we get mocked for, like I said, I don't know why. All of a sudden, when Jake knows something, it's a bad thing. Anyway, this is First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 6. It says, "Therefore let us not sleep as do others." Right? It says, "But let us watch and be sober." Now I want to get this word sober. All right. Let's get this word sober real quick. We already know what everybody knows what sober is, but just with a little bit of edification. It says to be sober, to be calm and collected in spirit, to be temperate, dispassionate, and circumspect. Right. Uh, Pretty much 100% focused, so you know what and what not to do. This stuff is very important. And like I said, for whatever reason, we get mocked for going into breakdowns. I don't get it. I really don't understand. But this is very important, right? These scriptures, these breakdowns, everything about it is important. When we go into these see, Great Millstone, man, I think we post the most videos out of everybody. You may have um a camp that will do a live stream once a week, once every 2 weeks. It might do a video once or twice a week. And that's that, right? Us, we do videos daily, nightly even. That's why Elder Apostle Har, man, he does videos on us at Great Millstone. That there should be no excuse not to do videos. This is very important. This is very important. All obviously you can get a little weak, but again, when you notice that, and you see Elder Apostle Hart does videos about that, it's just like, okay, yeah, that's probably talking about me too. Might not be directly at you, but when you watch it, you know what I mean. You be like, yeah, you know what? Let me step it up. That's happened to me a couple times, right? It wasn't like obviously directed at me, but when I saw it, I was like, so it's directed to whom it pertains to. Let me just say that. So when you see it, you'd be like, okay. Well, yeah, that's maybe I need to step it up some. Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe you need to step it up some, right? It's called examining yourself, man. We all got to do that. It's very important, right? First Peter chapter 5 verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. Right. So again, You got to be sober. You got to be vigilant. You got to be watchful, right? You know, one day you could wake up and say, man, I don't want to do this no more. That's happened before. Why? Because you wasn't being watchful. And, you know, secondly, the Lord didn't want you, but it is what it is, you know? Um, yeah. Uh, it's easy to get taken because we're surrounded by unrighteousness and infirmities. It's easy to get taken by that stuff, man. So what you got to do, you got to keep praying. You got to keep praying. You got to keep praying, man. You got to keep watching. Keep yourself in the spirit. Again, this goes for me too. Keep praying. Keep yourself in the spirit, man. Because your adversary, the devil, this stuff that we're surrounded by, man. Like I said, it's really easy to get taken by because the forces here are strong, and the Lord wanted it that way, right? But what's stronger than that? I just said it. The Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai prevails over all. And if you're not praying to the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, well, He's going to allow you to get taken. He's going to allow you to get taken by His left hand forces, right? Let's get one more. I think it was Matthew 22. It said, "Watch ye therefore." I think it was. I did not mean to do that. Watch ye. Watch ye therefore. I think it was Matthew 22. No, it was Matthew 13. No, it was Luke 21:36. That's what I was looking for. But it says the same thing in Matthew 13. Right. Luke chapter 21, verse 36. Watch ye therefore and pray always that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass. Right. And to stand before the Son of Man. Right. So watch and pray. Watch ye therefore and pray always. You're watching and you're praying. You're watching, you're praying. You know, going out there weekly, throwing on your garment, going out there on the highways and on the hedges. I'm gonna let you know something right now, man. That's a small part of what we of the ministry. Don't get me wrong, yeah, it's important. You got to do it, but not you got to realize that not everybody's a prophet either, right? But honestly, that's a small part. That's a small part of it because number one, you got a lot of Jake going out there in vain. They get some camera time. It's somewhere that they failed in the world, so they come into this thing and they heat themselves, women and stuff like that. Some fame time, some camera time. Those Jakes eventually fall out, because for obvious reasons. That reason specifically. But that's a small portion of the mission, man. All right. What happens after that? What happens, after the camera goes off, you got your 2 to 4 hours of fame and you shut the camera off and then what? You know what I mean? Then what? Right? You gotta go out here, you gotta deal with the world. And how do you deal with the world? Well, you watch and pray. You still got to do your videos. There's a job, man. But you got a lot of people you got a lot of Jake that are just camp Israelites. I would get ready to say Saturday Israelites, but not everybody goes out on Saturday, right? You're just camp day Israelites, but throughout the week you're doing absolutely nothing. You're stagnant. You're lukewarm. And what did the Lord say about that lukewarm spirit, man? That's not good. All right. So, like I said, this is just a little. Hopefully, this was more uplifting. Just a reminder for all of us, man. We all got to just stay strong, man, and watch and pray. All right. That's really all we can do. That's what the Lord told us to do. That's really all we can do is watch and pray and live out our lives until the Lord is ready to pull the plug on this place, man. As we see is happening, the Lord is dismantling Babylon right now. All the more the reason why you should be watching and praying more. If you ain't looking, you will know what the hell is going on, right? So anyway, giving all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. That's all I got on this. Shalom.